very much for giving us this opportunity. As you know, we've spent quite a while working on a facilities master plan. We've been before this body many times in the past during the generation of that master plan. And before I actually get started, I'd like to thank a couple people who have been really instrumental in putting this together. MK Think, the consultant that has been in charge of the master plan. Art Taylor, who recently left MK Think, took a very prestigious position in New York City with the New York City Board of Education. Much of it predicated on the backs of the work that was done here under asset management facilities planning. Also, Nate Gore, principal of the organization, in attendance to help us field any kind of questions, as well as Josh Jackson, who took over for Art when he did leave. They've done a great job for us. Tadashi Nakagawa, director of facilities planning. Our Jennifer Labar, I'm not sure if she's here, but she's done a great job working with us, Facilities Master Plan, as well as looking at some very novel ways to improve food quality and increase nutrition for students in this district. Also, Ruth Aladehoyan, who you've actually heard from a little bit earlier, regarding the general obligation bond, and Kate Boskoff, who helped put a lot of this together for us. So for today, we're going to try to run through this as quickly as possible, take some questions from the board and the audience. And for us, this is actually a formal presentation to the board of the facilities master plan. And we want to make sure that we share the progress that we've made since the last time that we were actually together, and introduce the final product to you for your consideration for approval. The master plan is actually a framework for us to improve facilities over 5 to 10 years. And the master plan is actually also one of the first year deliverables under our strategic plan. And we are happy to say that we're on time with that deliverable. One of the things that I do want to put a pin in is the poll that we just heard that was taken. Actually took 200 more samples than we would normally take. Normally we take 400 samples. This time we took 600 samples, and so I think the integrity of that poll is very high. And I just want to say to the board that I think that one of the reasons the polling is so positive for us is how you have actually taken responsibility for improving facilities across this city. I think that the evidence of that is in many of the neighborhoods across this town. And I hope that that encourages this board to approve general obligation bond to continue the efforts to improve facilities in the city. Oakland citizens have seen that when they do approve those spendings, we're responsible for it, and that we effectively make those improvements as they had approved for the use of those funds. In that respect, I think that this school district saying and claiming to be one of the most improved urban districts in the last 7 years is kind of an indicator of progress that we've made. But I think one of the, and I've learned this term, leading indicators prior to that was the improvement of facilities. And so I don't want this board to take that lightly, or this community. One of the things that we've actually done over the last several years is this list of improvements, and you can actually look around the room and see the remnants of some of the work that was done under previous bond authorizations. And I'm going to do a quick summary of just some highlights. Urban Promise Academy, new gymnasium and multipurpose building, Oakland High School modernization, Bret Hart Middle School modernization, Cox Elementary, portable replacement and grounds improvements, Skyline High School Wellness Center, the Lincoln Elementary portable replacement and grounds improvements, Stonehurst CDC replacement, Lowell Middle School campus modernizations, Chabot Elementary portable replacement, and various other projects that are too numerous to name. From those master plans, OUSD has also established a criteria for the building of our facilities. That criteria that we adopted was collaborative for high performance schools. It is a criteria that supports energy efficiency and sustainable architecture, as well as conservation of water. We were one of the early adopters in 2007, and I believe one of maybe 50, is it 45? Okay, 45 school districts in the entire state. This master plan identifies about $1.5 billion in need. That's detailed in the actual report, and that's available for everyone to take a look at. Tonight, again, formally offering the report for recommendation for approval and back to this board for the vote on May the 23rd. As I said before, the master plan has been a long time in coming. We've actually built the master plan on the back of an asset management plan that we did in 2009. It was also informed by strategic planning that we did over the course of a year period. For me and my team, we focused on the regional zone approach that allowed for us to look at equitable ways of distributing resources. We also did a room-by-room detailed data collection analysis that was focused primarily on students, and we actually took students out, supervised by Art Taylor, MK Think, and my staff, and did a copious amount of surveys, over 10,000 rooms throughout the district, to make a determination on the content and the conditions and use of those spaces, and what other key educational parameters that were necessary to explore. That turned into a needs assessment. The needs assessment for us was completed in the fall of 2011, and the needs assessment was very comprehensive. We worked very closely with teachers, principals, and administrators, and looked at educational supports for programs such as STEM and grade level expansions. We work with structural engineers. Obviously, we've talked a lot about safety here, and collaborated with food service on the nutrition service plan. For us, that period of time identifies a period of time prior to the January 4th study session that we did. And in preparation for that study session, I do want to thank and acknowledge the board for having made the time to do one-on-one sessions with myself, MK Think, and our legal counsel to talk about the possibilities for a new bond election and how that bond election would be informed by this master plan. Since January 4th, when we did our study session, we've completed a full seismic assessment of the entire school district. We've done full audits of all of our portables, so 680 separate portables. On January the 4th, we spent, I think, about 3 hours in this room, and we heard from the board. We took a series of questions from the board and have responded back with our answers. Those questions were also shared and distributed at our various community meetings that have taken place since January the 4th and now. The community input process for us has been very robust. We've had scheduled 6 meetings. In attendance at each one of our meetings was between 15 and 50 people, teachers, parents, principals, and other different community stakeholders were there. We also conducted a major mapping workshop at Castlemont High School with students from East Oakland School of the Arts to get input from students on issues and opportunities in their community for planning on continuing work with those students, as well as doing similar workshops at other schools. Lastly, we also have a website, and I think it's really important. I want to give that website address out. The website has actually had thousands of actual visitors, and it contains website features that you can actually download, and a copious amount of information, as well as the site houses surveys for us. And since January, we've had about 3,000 different visits, and the visits last about 10 minutes apiece. The website is central to our goal of making the master plan transparent to the community, and it's available for your use at www.ousd.k12.ca.us/facilities-plan. Again, that's www.ousd.k12.ca.us/facilities-plan. Additional outreach with additional meetings is scheduled for PTA groups, community organizations, et cetera. And as this is actually a ongoing implementation, the outreach will be ongoing as well. So finally, that leads us to the actual product, the meat and potatoes of the actual written report. I just want to give a brief summary of the sections that report is available for you to kind of dig down and drill into. Page 4, executive summary, gives you a quick overview of the entire document. Page 5 highlights the actual board priorities. We heard these priorities loud and clear from the board, and during the board sessions and also our one-on-one sessions with the board. These priorities will direct the actual plan itself, and they are spaces for educational innovation, safety, sustainability, effective use of underutilized resources, resource equity, and preparing well-rounded community citizens. The next section is the asset section. These are essentially the results of the asset management work that was done in 2009. In addition to the report, the master plan is also novel in the sense that what we present to you is a hard copy that looks like this, but it actually is resident on an electronic database. We actually have a fully comprehensive master plan, unlike our last master plan that was contained in a series of 3-inch binders. This master plan exists in its entirety online inside a configurable database that will be on the website that we will all have access to. Lastly, a set of guiding principles. We thought that the guiding principles for the plan were really important. They actually come from the board priorities and community input that we received. And these guiding principles direct the projects based on the current assets and the planning context that we've looked at them in. We want to make sure that the plan is aligned with the strategic vision and that the regional zone approach is used to make sure that there's an equity-centered approach to the distribution of those resources. For us, data is the starting point for any kind of decision-making, and efficient and effective spending has got to be how we spend our dollars in pursuit of support of our children's education. Ongoing community engagement is important. We hear that loud and clear from this community. We want to make sure that you're in the process from the planning until the actual groundbreaking and completion of projects. And lastly, the issue of sustainability is really huge in this area, and one that we're firmly committed to. The planning context talks about the consideration for enrollment projections. Obviously, demographics have been evaluated, and also the physical characteristics and issues associated with safety in the context that this district exists in inside the actual city of Oakland itself. On page 35, there's a needs assessment that's very detailed. By applying the guiding principles to our different assets in the current context of planning, the master plan identifies a series of needs at every school site that we've had in different categories. And those facilities upgrades and modernizations are based on typically brick and mortar issues. We won't go through the detail of those. In addition to the brick and mortar work that we have identified in the master plan associated with the sustainability goals and initiatives, we want to make sure that we have a series of projects associated with energy efficiency and renewable energy that reduce the district's consumption of power while giving money back to the general fund to make it available to where it can be best used. Seismic safety enhancements are part of the plan and very prominently placed there. All OUSD schools, again, for the record, meet the California building codes, but there are opportunities for us to enhance those building codes and improve the seismic predictability of our buildings. And lastly, but not least, the full-service community school support-based educational program and community partnerships and their needs are critically important to us. And I was actually encouraged to hear during the survey that Gene Bergman just presented that one of the polling questions associated with full-service community schools was one of the ones that people seem to be most enthusiastic about. The STEM initiative is, for us, a very, very important initiative. Innovative STEM programs require flexible and technology leveraging type of classrooms to function. For us, that gives us an opportunity to not just deliver state-of-the-art 21st century type of learning programs, but it also gives us the opportunity to make sure that we don't try to deliver state-of-the-art teaching and learning in raggedy facilities that aren't conducive for those type of programs. Special education, and, as well as quality school development groups, grade expansions, and other programmatic offerings that are in alignment with the strategic plan. Finally, in summary, on page 46 is a proposed list of projects that identifies about $1.5 billion in need. Some highlights there again are McClymonds, the STEM projects, Fremont High School, where we talk about comprehensive modernizations and improvements, is in addition to grade level expansions for facilities such as Washington, Whittier, Madison, and others. Highlights, again, nutrition services plan where we will build a new central kitchen that'll dramatically improve the quality of food served to our children. That central kitchen will be supported by some satellite type of facilities around the district, as well as improvements that we'll do at other kitchens to make them able to better host the nutritional services there. And finally, energy efficiency and sustainability programs eligible across the district. I think that the issue of energy efficiency and sustainability is really great. For like 3 years, I've been trying to do some renewable energy projects across this district that would actually allow us to funnel $2 to $3 million a year back into the general fund for other use. And so finally, in conclusion, we're excited about this plan and the chance to lay the foundation for continuing improvement and performance in all of our schools. We're eager to hear your feedback. As the board moves forward with the bond authorization, we will refine the proposed projects and make sure that they're aligned and scoped and focused on the board's proposed, on the board direction from today.